Palestine, a land rich in history and culture, where every stone tells a story, and every corner echoes the past. A land of great beauty, sacred to many, and a symbol of endurance through centuries of hardship. From the ancient civilizations that once flourished here, to the people who have called it home for millennia, Palestine has always been at the heart of the world's most significant narratives. Palestine's history isn't just written in books, it's engraved in the myths and legends passed down through generations. In Canaanite mythology, the gods were said to walk these lands, and the earth itself was considered sacred. Among these myths, the story of the god Baal, who ruled the heavens and the earth, was central to the beliefs of the ancient Canaanites. Baal was worshipped here, where now the land remains a witness to these ancient beliefs. This sacred relationship between the people and their land has endured for thousands of years, despite the waves of invaders that came through. Over the centuries, Palestine has been the stage for many conquests. The Egyptians, Romans, Byzantines, and later the Crusaders, each one leaving their mark on this land. But through it all, the Palestinian people remained resilient. When the Romans took control of the land, they tried to erase its ancient identity, renaming it Judea, in an attempt to rewrite history. Yet the people of Palestine, Muslim, Christian, and Jewish alike, continued to thrive, maintaining their roots and culture. In the late 19th century, a new force emerged on the world stage: Zionism. Theodor Herzl, the father of modern political Zionism, sought to establish a Jewish homeland in Palestine, but the land was already inhabited by Palestinians, Muslims, Christians, and Jews who had lived there for centuries. The idea of creating a Jewish state in Palestine gained traction, especially after World War I, when Britain, under the Balfour Declaration of 1917, promised to establish a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. This declaration ignored the rights and aspirations of the indigenous Palestinian population. In 1948, the dream of a Jewish state became a reality, but at a grave cost. The establishment of Israel led to the Nakba, or catastrophe. Over 750,000 Palestinians were displaced from their homes, forced to flee, or killed in what is now known as the creation of Israel. Palestinian cities and villages were erased from the map, families were torn apart, and generations of Palestinians were scattered across the world, creating one of the largest refugee crises in modern history. In 1967, after the Six-Day War, Israel occupied the West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem, further tightening its grip on Palestine. This marked the beginning of another chapter in the Palestinian struggle for freedom. The occupation continues to this day, with Palestinians enduring constant hardship, military checkpoints, illegal settlements, restrictions on movement, and the construction of a wall that divides families and communities. The Zionist movement has long sought to present a narrative of Palestine as an empty land, awaiting a homeland for the Jewish people. This distorted history erases the Palestinian presence and their deep connection to the land. From the beginning, Palestinians were marginalized, their history and identity ignored in favor of a myth of a land without a people for a people without a land. Zionist leaders like David Ben-Gurion and Chaim Weizmann viewed the Palestinians as an obstacle to their vision. This attitude fueled policies of displacement, violence, and land theft that continue to shape the conflict. Through it all, the Palestinian people have resisted. From the armed struggle of the 1960s and 70s to the First and Second Intifadas, the resistance has never stopped. The voices of Palestinian leaders like Yasser Arafat and organizations such as the PLO have echoed the demand for justice and the right of return. Today, Palestinians continue their struggle, whether through peaceful protests, international diplomacy, or cultural resilience. The Palestinian cause is no longer confined to the borders of Palestine. It has become a global movement for justice and human rights. Despite the trials, the Palestinian people have not given up hope. The land of Palestine is a land of resilience, where the spirits of the people endure through every hardship. The journey for peace, justice, and the return to their rightful land is far from over. But the dream of a free Palestine lives on. This is Palestine, an ancient land, a modern struggle, and a timeless story of resistance and hope.